Hello everyone, welcome to Multilingual. As promised, today we're talking about the verbs followed by an infinitive with to. One of these verbs is, for example, to want. We say, I want to eat a huge piece of cake, but unfortunately I'm on a diet. So we say, I want to eat, not eating. Want plus an infinitive with to. That's what we're talking about today. I've collected 8 most popular verbs for you that are always followed by an infinitive with to. Here they are: to intend, to pretend, to manage, to tend, to refuse, to decide, to promise, and to seem. You can use the timestamp to jump from one verb to another, or simply stay with me for the next 8 minutes. Let's get started. Okay guys, our first verb for today is to intend to do something. To intend to do something means to plan or to mean to do something, and it's always followed by an infinitive, of course. For example, I intend to talk to Sarah about this issue on Monday. Intend to talk, not talking. I made this promise and I intend to keep it. To keep the promise, right? I intend to keep it. Tomorrow we're going on a shopping spree and I intend to spend a lot of money. Intend to spend. Do you know what it means to go on a shopping spree? That means that you shop excessively and probably buy more than usual. Do you ever go on a shopping spree? I do sometimes. And here is a question for you. What do you intend to achieve this year? Maybe you want to improve your English, start a YouTube channel, pass an exam. Let me know in the comments down below what you intend to do this year. Our second verb is to pretend to do something. If you pretend, you behave as if something is true, but you know that in reality it isn't. To pretend to do something. For example, the teacher was talking non-stop and we were pretending to be interested. We were pretending to be interested. Again, we have to use an infinitive after the verb pretend. And what about you? Do you ever pretend to be interested? I think this happens quite often. We pretend to be interested, even if it's not very interesting at all, right? At work, at the uni, at school maybe. When I was a kid, I sometimes pretended to feel sick because I didn't want to go to school. Yeah, it happened sometimes. Have you ever pretended to feel sick because you didn't want to go to school? Let me know. Our third verb is to manage to do something. We use this verb quite a lot, so it's important to use it correctly with an infinitive afterwards, not with a gerund. I managed to do something. For example, it was almost too late, but I managed to catch the bus. Whew, what a relief. We managed to finish the project in time. Our client will be satisfied. How do you manage to work under high pressure? I managed to live on a very little money when I was a student. The pilot managed to land the plane safely. So you managed to do something. This is such a versatile verb followed by an infinitive. Keep it in mind. And let's move on to the next one. Our next verb is to tend to do something, meaning to behave in a particular way. Do you agree with this statement? We tend to eat more in the wintertime. You know, it's cold and the days are shorter, so we stay more inside than outside. And you know, if you stay home, you tend to eat more than when you're outside. Another example, if you move house, things tend to get lost. We tend to lose our valuables, especially when we move house. This is so annoying. Even if you pack everything carefully, you always know that something will get lost. Something tends to get lost. Here is another example. Children tend to take after their parents, both in their appearance as well as in their behavior. Another good verb here is to take after someone. I have a complete video on the phrasal verb take. Take with different prepositions and meanings. Here is the link, check it out. And what do you personally tend to do? I have my routine during the weekdays, but I tend to go to bed quite late on the weekend, which I don't like, but you know, it's a weekend. So what about you? What do you tend to do? Leave your example in the comments down below. Our next verb is to refuse to do something. If you refuse to do something, you say that you will not do or accept something. I asked you for some help, but she refused to help me. Another example, the bank refused to give me another loan. A loan is a credit. My best friend is a strict vegan, so she refuses to eat any kind of animal products. Actually, once I tried to go vegan for about a week, I would say, but I didn't manage to commit to it. If it gets really cold, your car may refuse to start. They refused to accept our prices, so we couldn't do any business with them. And a question for you to think about. If your good friend asks you for some money, would you refuse to lend some money or would you agree? Would you refuse? It might depend on the amount of money, right? But let me know. Our next verb is to decide to do something. If you decide to do something, you think carefully first and then you choose something. After getting a baby, they decided to move house. Have you decided to accept this job offer or not? She has decided to quit her job. If you quit your job, that means that you resign, that you stop working for a particular company. We have decided to remodel our kitchen. This is what it's going to look like. What do you think? I think it looks quite fancy. And what about you? Have you recently decided to do something? Make your own example. Our verb number 7 is to promise to do something. We promise to do or not to do something quite a lot. We promise something to our families, to colleagues, to bosses, to ourselves. And we always put an infinitive afterwards, not a gerund. Promise to finish the project by Friday, and I'll do that. Hey, what are you doing tonight? I've promised myself to have a nice long bath after this chaotic working day. So you can promise yourself to do something. And what about you? What have you promised yourself to do this year, or today, or this week? Finish this sentence. I've promised myself to... Our final verb for today, number 8, is to seem to do something. If you aren't sure about something or someone, you say, it seems to, or he seems to. It seems to be raining. I'm not sure, but I think I can hear the rain. It seems to be raining. Her new boyfriend seems to make her happy. Look how she's glowing. They seem to have had a fantastic summer vacation. Here I used to have had in the perfect form because I want to show the past action. To have had. One more example here. She seems to have won the lottery. Why is she so happy? She seems to be too young for her age. Look, here we can omit the verb to be and say she seems young for her age. They seem to be happy together, or they seem happy together. Anna seems more intelligent than her classmates. Those were the 8 most common verbs that must be followed by an infinitive. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, enjoyed watching plus gerund, and I hope to see plus infinitive in my next one. Keep improving gerund, your English skills with Karina Multilingual, and I see you next week. Bye guys.